Some stars have fame, some have fans, but Keanu Reeves, he has respect, not because of his blockbuster movies or viral memes, but because of who he is behind the spotlight. What most people don't know is that Keanu didn't rise in comfort. He lost close friends, buried loved ones, and battled lifelong grief, all while staying humble, and grounded. In this video, we're breaking down how Keanu Reeves lost almost everything and still became Hollywood's most beloved star. 12 turning points. No sugarcoating, just the story of how a man chose goodness over bitterness, again and again. Keanu wasn't born into Hollywood royalty. He was born in Beirut, Lebanon, in 1964 and raised by a single mother after his father walked out when Keanu was just 3. From there, his childhood became a carousel of countries and stepfathers, moving between Australia, New York, Toronto, and various schools. He struggled with dyslexia, never graduated high school, and felt like an outsider almost everywhere.
But I mean, John Wick action is a particular kind of action. I mean, the director wants to make it immersive.
Acting gave him an outlet, but it wasn't a silver spoon. He had to fight for every opportunity. And while most kids had stability, Keanu had resilience. That early instability shaped the quiet, observant man we now see on screen. Keanu's first big break came with Bill, Ted's Excellent Adventure in 1989, a goofy time travel comedy that made him a pop culture icon. But he quickly pivoted to more serious roles: Point Break, My Own Private Idaho, and eventually Speed in 1994, the movie that made him a bankable star. Unlike many rising actors, Keanu didn't chase the biggest checks. He turned down Speed 2, even though it would have paid their $11 million, choosing instead to perform Shakespeare on stage. He wasn't interested in hype. He wanted roles that meant something. That quiet rebellion against fame made him different and unforgettable.
Because it's Lana Wachowski and it's The Matrix and you need natural light and you want to do it real. I mean, there's wires.
In 1993, Keanu's closest friend, River Phoenix, died of a drug overdose at just 23. The two had starred in My Own Private Idaho and shared a deep bond. River wasn't just a co-star, he was like a brother. His sudden death shook Keanu to the core. He rarely spoke about it publicly, but those who knew him say it changed him. He became more introspective, more reserved. It was one of the first deep personal losses that would haunt him for years. But instead of falling apart, Keanu internalized the pain. He carried it quietly and let it deepen his empathy. In the late 90s, Keanu fell in love with Jennifer Syme, an assistant to director David Lynch. They kept their relationship private but were deeply connected. In 1999, Jennifer gave birth to their daughter, Ava, stillborn at 8 months. The grief tore them apart, and they eventually separated.
Fighting has to be part of the story for the characters and even for the the creation of the world.
But in 2001, tragedy struck again. Jennifer died in a car crash at just 28. Keanu had lost a child and a partner within 2 years. Most people would have shut down, disappeared. But Keanu kept going, quietly, with dignity. He didn't spiral. He just showed up to work, to life, to people, with kindness in his eyes.
In Reloaded, where I fight the Smiths, and I had 532 moves to do. I had 17 wires.
While other stars chased spotlights, Keanu stayed in the shadows. No big mansions, no celebrity entourages. He often took the subway, ate alone at street cafes, spent birthdays without fanfare. Fame never corrupted him, because he never craved it. He once said, "I'm not looking for a red carpet life." That humility is what set him apart. He doesn't sell his grief. He doesn't seek sympathy. He just lives, quietly, sincerely, fully. And maybe that's why people love him even more, because he proves you can be wildly successful and still be human. During the Matrix trilogy, Keanu made over $100 million. But what he did with that money, that's the real story. He gave away millions to the visual effects and costume teams, saying they were the real heroes behind the scenes. He also helped crew members, paid for family surgeries, and supported hospitals treating cancer, all privately. He never brags.
Really great experience working on the role. I did like 4 or 5 voice recording sessions and working with Jeff Fowler.
In fact, most of this was discovered through leaked interviews and testimonies from people he helped. Keanu doesn't donate for clout. He does it because he's been there. In the dark, in the pain, and knows how much a little kindness can mean. Keanu has experienced more loss than most. His father vanished. His best friend overdosed. His child died. His partner was killed. But he never became bitter. He never lashed out. He once said, "Grief changes shape, but it never ends." That quote went viral, not because it was poetic, but because it was real. Keanu didn't try to move on. He learned how to live with the pain. And somehow, instead of hardening, he became softer. His kindness isn't performative. It's forged in fire. That's why people don't just admire him, they trust him. After a quiet period in the 2000s, many thought Keanu's best days were behind him. Then in 2014, John Wick dropped and changed everything. The film was tight, stylish, and deeply personal. Wick loses his dog, a final gift from his dead wife, and goes on a warpath. It wasn't just a revenge movie, it was grief in action. Keanu was John Wick, channeling real loss through fiction. Fans felt it, and Hollywood finally caught on. Keanu wasn't just back, he was better than ever. The franchise revived his career, but also reminded the world why he mattered in the first place. By the late 2010s, Keanu wasn't just respected, he became a full-blown internet legend. Clips of him giving up subway seats, quietly helping strangers, or walking alone with a sandwich went viral. The "Sad Keanu" meme took over. Then came the "You're breathtaking" moment at E3. Genuine, unrehearsed, and 100% Keanu. Suddenly, a new generation fell in love with him, not because of action scenes, but because he seemed real. While most stars polish their image, Keanu just is. He doesn't chase moments. Moments find him because he's always the same, on camera or off. Behind the blockbusters, Keanu's been quietly working on passion projects for years. He plays bass guitar in a band. He writes poetry. He co-created a comic book series called BRZRKR, based on a half-mortal warrior who can't die. A not-so-subtle reflection of Keanu's inner world. He even started a publishing company to champion new authors. These projects aren't money grabs. They're extensions of his soul, things he'd do even if no one was watching. Because for Keanu, art isn't a product, it's a process. And success isn't about numbers. Keanu's still not married. No kids, no Hollywood mansion with 12 pools. He rides motorcycles, reads alone, dates privately. In 2019, he appeared at an event with artist Alexandra Grant, his first public relationship in years. The internet exploded with love. Why? Because people just want to see him happy. He's given so much without asking for anything back. Now as he enters his 60s, Keanu remains low-key, philosophical, and deeply content with the life he chose, not the one Hollywood tried to sell him. He didn't play the game, he rewrote it. Keanu Reeves didn't just survive tragedy, he transformed through it. He took pain and turned it into purpose. He built a career, a reputation, and a legacy rooted in kindness, not ego. He's not perfect, he's not flashy, but he's real, and in a world starving for authenticity, that's everything. He didn't let grief define him, he let it refine him, and through that, he became something rare. A global icon who's still humble enough to say thank you, hold the door, and listen like you matter. Keanu didn't just make it, he made a difference. Keanu Reeves proves that life can break you, but it doesn't have to destroy you, that you can carry grief and grace. That kindness isn't weakness, it's strength in disguise. If his story moved you, hit that like button, share this with someone who needs hope, and drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more real stories of struggle, survival, and quiet greatness, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching. And remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about being genuine.